Hear ye, hear ye. We are back for our 10th season, maybe 11. I don't know. It's 10 or 11th season of the Swolecast. And it is going to be a fun show. I've got Davis Maddock. I've got Dan Gasper, Mr. Toto 5, and we might be joined by a special guest as well. We have to see. But it's going to be a fun show. We're going to talk about Davis rejoining it and rejoining the team. We're going to talk about just everything first look. The first look show just got even first look here on today's new time slot. That and more coming up on the Swolecast on RotoGrinders.com.
You Davis Maddock from the Swolecast? I was like, yep, that's me.
I just want you guys to know I'm total dust. I'm the problem.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Leave it to the guy with the crypto dunes, Abby, to not understand context.
I should have known you getting 30 likes was directly written by someone else.
You know me, I don't do a ton of research before the show.
I've put no research into this. Don't know if it's true at all.
You're on the right show.
To it, bro. Live a little.
Live a little.
Just live a little, guys.
Welcome in. It's the Swolecast here on RotoGrinders.com. David Kitchen alongside Dan Gasper, a.k.a. Mr. Tuttle 05, joining us for the season. Davis also joining us. And there is a noticeable person who is not on the show. And I just want to say, Pete is the one who asked us all to rearrange our schedules this fall so that we could accommodate him. And
I'm happy to do it. I'm happy. As a fellow solopreneur, sure. I am happy to accommodate over Zed's schedule.
Sure. But I just want to, and for those that just follow Pete, I'm sure they're being serviced somewhere, but for those that look forward to the Swolecast, I apologize on behalf of Pete. Hopefully he will get here eventually. But this is a first look show. We'll have to fill Pete in on kind of the format of the show, I guess. But we're going to get into, hey, what are the top games? What are some of the top play? What are some of the top early plays that we've got here? Like, this is the show that sets the table for the rest of your week. Aside from that, Davis, you're on the
whoa, wow,
whoa.
Oh,
I knew I was never going to hear the end of that.
No,
I knew it.
No, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome to the stage Peter Overzet. You might recognize him from X. Has over 17,000 followers on YouTube. Ask us to rearrange our schedules for him, and then is late for today's show. Pete, welcome.
No, you know what? You were going to always try to spin it like that, but I knew the second I told you, I was like, what if we make it a first look show? You let the video hang on the vine a little bit longer. Let all those late week views roll in. Better Collective now has more money to pay Davis's salary for his little expert survey picks. I mean, it was going to work out for everyone.
Yeah. Well, Pete, so you're a little late and you missed the pre-production pre-show meeting. We're going to replace the FanDuel lineup that we always do with a Pick Em lineup at the end. So just be ready for that. And we're setting the table. We're setting the table for everyone.
And Dave, what will we give away to the viewers if we ship one of these 8-leg Pick-ems that we're going to be doing on Underdog.com?
The giveaway is really the viewer gets the giveaway by shipping the 4-leg.
Because we're going to do 8 legs. We each are going to make 2 selections. We're doing 8 legs.
Oh, no, that would be crazy.
That is
no,
Tuttle,
what we're doing is
me, right?
Davis is
I didn't even know.
I
I don't know what's happening. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
The viewers get 5% of the Pick'em winnings. You do have to read the TNCs though.
We need AI to write us up a contract for that one though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're gonna just get started here. Not every week is gonna go like this week. We are in the year 10 or year 11 of this show. This is the First Look podcast. And you know who does have it together is the Favorites pod. And if you're looking for a plus EV contest this NFL season, our friends, just within the company at Action have one for you. Their podcast called The Favorites is bringing back their free NFL Pick 'em contest this season. Totally free to sign up at favorites.actionnetwork.com. Just 5 picks against the spread every week. Cash prizes for the top 10 finishers. All right, so put it back on me. Put it back on me.
This show's gone so corporate.
$40,000 first place. $40,000 first place. $100,000 prize pool. Thousands up for cash grab every week. Again, totally free to play. Contest just went live. Go to favorites.actionnetwork.com to sign up and compete for the $100,000 prize.
We're not in Kansas anymore. Jeez.
Hey, Dave, if they're our friends, when can I tune in to see their ad read for us?
Well, I'm sure if
once we get our ducks in a row, there, Dave.
Yeah, where's the give and take?
Once we get our ducks in a row, we too shall have $100,000 prize.
There is a mutiny happening in the YouTube comments right now. Just a mutiny.
We sold out, guys. We officially sold out. Finally.
I'm sorry.
What you didn't
know? As we're selling out, let's skip to a trip to Vegas. Splash Sports hosts NFL Survivor and Pick'em pools every week in 34 states and Canada. Start with their $1 million Survivor pool in week 1. Pick one winning team each week for a chance at $1 million. But remember to not use the same team twice. Join us in week 2 for RotoGrinders Revival Tournament, he said. It's just a $20 entry with over $20,000 to be won, plus RG premium prizes for the top 20. Splash Sports also offers Pick'em tiers and innovative one-and-done leagues. They're bringing fresh excitement to peer games. Click the link in our description and join the action.
We now need the McCole Hardman speeding ad. All right, little producer note. Let me give a little producer note. We got to break the ad reads up. You can't. We're not doing.
Well, I was going to, and then there was just complaints, and so hey, we'll break them up going forward. But you know what?
And I've got breaking news here.
What is it?
We're going to help producer Sosa now that I'm a certified budget streamer. I can now help him screen share so that we don't get Sosa not knowing who we're picking in the lineup issues anymore.
Love it.
I don't know if I do love that, Dave. Do we want Davis having final say on which players are going into the
I just have lineup HQ.
I got the DraftKings lineup, guys. I just asked if Davis could help with the underdog one. Pick 'em today. The Survivor today. Sorry.
All right.
There you go.
Davis was already trying to wrestle away more power for this show.
Well,
welcome to the team, Davis. Also, forgot to say.
RotoGrinders.
You got a fruit basket for him, Sosa? Anything else you'd like to say here during the middle of the goddamn show?
At least I was on time.
Oh,
hold me back. Pull me back.
All right, guys.
This is going to do really well for the people who are coming in on Sunday morning.
This
trying
is
to
the
get
first look show. We haven't even had a first look, so we have to set the table, and we're going to do that right now with Mr. Pete Overzet's overview.
Got that dog in her butt. Got that dog in her butt. Overzet, overview. Come on.
All right. It is nice to be done with hot best ball summer so we can all focus on what we are best at. This is our true bread and butter around here, and that's giving out the least actionable DFS advice on the planet, guys. It's time to shine. It's truly wonderful to have Tuttle back in our lives, and this is unorthodox for the overview, but I do have a question for you, Tuttle. How excited are you to have Davis contributing alongside you with Lineup HQ and Expert Survey this season?
Very excited to call him coworker. He used to be able to call like Dr. Chow co-worker and things like that. So I'm basically Chow's co-worker, and I'm
Hey
excited
Pete,
about that.
I bet you can guess the first player that I tried to tag in lineup HQ. It's the
He
funniest
sent
possible
me a
answer.
screenshot.
Is it Greg Dortch?
It's even
Carson
funnier.
Steele.
Carson Steele.
Oh, God.
Go down Slate.
There's got to be some QA here for expert survey.
I would say they instead of the little circles, can we get the short king emoji next to Davis's plays? All right, we're recording this on Tuesday, and we've always called this a first look show, but I really need to set the table. I cannot overstate how true that is. I'm literally looking at these salaries for the first time right now, and like seeing my wife in her wedding dress for the first time on that wonderful day we got married on August 10th, 2013, a date I would never forget. I'm getting tears in my eyes, fellas, just thinking about if I were a cash game player, how I'd be at a full 3.9 inches as I slotted Jaden Daniels into my shell at a salary of $5,700.
It's unbelievable.
We are fully back, guys. We do have a 12-game slate this week. No more jokes. Like, I just need to get people the goods. That's why they tune in. 12-game slate, only 4 late games. What the hell, Roger? Figure it out. Why can't we do 6 and 6? This is ridiculous. There are 4 teams with implied team totals over 25. The Bengals, the Texans, the Dolphins, and the Bills. The Bears aren't far behind at 24.75. But Vegas doesn't know that Shane Waldron is a donkey or that Keenan Allen thinks he has a sponsorship with Ben & Jerry's. So take that line as you will. There are some fun subplots to week 1. There's the Arthur Smith Bowl with the Steelers facing the Falcons. And Russ Wilson was just named a captain, and I just know how happy that made you.
The only offensive captain.
That's why he's got the
Pittsburgh
dad gang
Steelers
hat on right now.
Were you fist pumping when you heard that, Kitchen?
Yes.
I knew you were.
He has so many DraftKings teams they're going to finish 10th instead of 11th.
Davis, you're hilarious.
And I am being completely honest. Other than that Jaden Daniels salary at $5,700, I only looked at one other salary. I saw Josh Allen is $8K, and he's completely unplayable at that price. Unless the Sims tell me he is in fact playable at that price. Back to you, Dave.
Thank you, Peter. So we are 13 minutes in, and we have a lot to break down and digest within the hour because I do have a meeting coming up, and I can't be.
I do not on Mondays have a hard out, so I just want that on the record. On Tuesdays, I don't have a hard out.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. So we have a lot to talk about. You just mentioned let's talk about like what games is first look show, what games are not on the slate, right? KC Baltimore, Green Bay, Philly, and Brazil. I don't know if that game will even play. Rams, Lions, little golf action.
David's been watching OAN. It's very hard.
Fox News stated the game's not going to play for some reason.
Jets, 49ers.
Because they can't tweet from the press box. Kitchen thinks the game's going to get canceled.
Can't play.
No, all the wildfires.
How are we going to know the inactives? How are we going to know
guys? As a first look show, we gotta do a little bit of research. You guys not know there's wildfires? Like they're going to be flying down. I think today or tomorrow, rather, on Wednesday.
How does this work for my Dontavian Wicks first look teams on the FFPC main event? Is this a plus or a minus?
Depends on if the grounds, it's retrofitted.
I see what you did there.
So yeah, all right.
I mean, Dave, I'm surprised that you are not here with the Goff Stafford Bowl. I thought that would have led like whatever podcast you're listening to right now. Like
I already said the golf bowl and then Jets 49ers with Aaron Rodgers. And
that game is going to be ass. That Jets 49ers is going to be.
I'm just upset that we don't have 2 Monday night games like we do every year.
Why is Broncos Raiders not happening at 10:30?
Really, I'm not a fan of the double Monday night game. I like the Friday ad instead of the double.
I don't like double games on Mondays.
I'm just now learning the actual schedule, so thank you guys for doing this.
That's why it's a first look show. That's why it's a first look show, Tuttle.
All right, let's cover quarterbacks because we have a lot to cover. We'll cover quarterbacks. We'll do a DK lineup and then get back into running backs. As far as quarterbacks this week,
I'm ready to plant a flag. Week one. I'm ready to plant a flag.
All right, what's your flag plant?
This is the cheapest that Kyler Murray will be all season. And by October 5th, Kyler Murray will be priced the same as CJ Stroud, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen.
Outdoors at Buffalo in an El Nino year? You're not worried about
It's not an El Nino year, brother.
Yeah. You have Kyler 6.4, Richardson at 6.3, Jaden Daniels at 5.7.
Yeah, Pete, that's the thing about the Daniels play is I think the cash game bros are gonna be like, well, if I just go down to a $2,200 defense, I could just get to Richardson, who has already proven that he scored 4 touchdowns in about 2.5 games worth of snaps.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've got
right, actually.
I've got a reverse flag plant, and I like this guy. I love this guy, but you cannot play him this week. Caleb Williams, can't do it. You
Why?
cannot play him this week.
Why not?
Boots on the ground defensive
you know,
take
yeah,
here.
He's gonna be-
you know why.
He's gonna be heavily owned, and people are going to be sorely disappointed because Titans defense, their secondary.
No, I'm calling cap on all this. I'm calling cap on heavily owned. He'll be 9% maximum. That game.
The Titans secondary's middle of the pack, Kitchen.
The Bears have a team total of 25, Dave. This isn't going to work. This is not a good
you know
spot.
who else is wrong? Vegas. Hammer the under team total.
You heard it here first.
Hammer the under on the team total because Kitchen lives in Nashville.
No.
Great advice.
No,
because
I'm
you saw
serious.
Adoree Jackson.
They've got a great
at the gas station.
They've got a great pass rush. They brought in like this Baltimore style defense where they're going to be rushing heavily. And they're just going to shut Caleb Williams down. That's all I'm saying. You can play him
Sounds
with
like
2,
some big
with
plays
3.
to me.
All right, let me throw this out to you. Tuttle. So you've got Burrow at 6,500. His projection is going to be better than Caleb, about equal to Richardson, better than Kyler, better than Lawrence, better than Daniels. Is this a spot where you think the field will be like, sure, the team total is good, I'll play him and Chase and Higgins or whoever, or because the spread is so large and the overall game total is relatively low, New England with the 15.5 team total, do you think, like, what do you think Chase and Burrow owned together are in the Millionaire Maker?
Burrow will be low owned.
Yeah.
Isn't this
Kinda
like the classic low owned Burrow stack spot?
Classic low owned Burrow spot.
People see Patriots,
especially with all
they
the
don't-
Chase uncertainty, people aren't going to naturally build that ahead of time.
Yeah,
Chase goes
mid single digits, maybe.
I gotta admit, this is not a true first look for me because I've been
No.
drafting battle royales. So
Please don't bring battle royales in.
I'm just saying I've been thinking about how players are going to score this
The
week
first
already.
look is in reference to the salaries, Davis. We've all been thinking about these players for like 8 months.
Yeah.
Not Kitchen.
All right. Let's as far as quarterbacks go, DFS, for those that are just in their first or second year, it's a puzzle, right? We put it together every week. This year, there's not really a slam dunk cheap guy, because remember, week 1 salaries come out 6 weeks in advance. There's not really a slam dunk cheap guy except for maybe Yoshi at 3K.
There's a good bit of
or
cheap
Adunze
play.
at 4K if you want to.
JSN is 4.9.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Davis, that's not really like these 3K, 4K guys that
We
we've
usually
seen
get like
in
a
the past.
3.2K tight end.
Right.
Zach Ertz a couple years ago.
Ertz could be that guy this year.
I was
too.
going to say,
So what's the point you're making, Kitchen?
The point meaning that we don't have as much salary to spend on quarterback this year.
Okay.
That's for week 1 in my eyes. Like those high price quarterbacks. And maybe they're lesser owned, so maybe we should play them. I don't know. That's for you guys in the Sims to find out. What are some other quarterbacks that you're looking at this week, Pete?
So the cheap guy that I like underneath Daniels would be Geno Smith at at home versus Denver. We're getting a full sale, like philosophy change here offensively. Ryan Grubb going to open it up more. I think it could be a little kind of more condensed too if Tyler Lockett is banged up. Sounds like he's going to be okay, but still a chance that this concentrates around Metcalf, JSN, maybe a sprinkling of Noah Fant. Denver secondary, nothing to write home about. They have Patrick Surtain, a guy I just Googled, was on their team, but otherwise it's a bunch of nobodies. I might have read a PFF article earlier today. And yeah, and so I like that spot at home versus Denver. I think they could come out just chucking it downfield, and he would be an awesome guy to double stack with.
Okay. Tuttle, any quarterback takes from you on this first look, and also combining the ownership expertise that you have?
Oh, I have no ownership expertise anymore. Those days are beyond me. The name that I ran a few builds re-show to try to get a look. Guy that's not popping, and maybe he'll grab some steam as the week progresses, just because the matchup. Trevor Lawrence, anybody?
Yep.
Can we go that route?
I don't think he will get any steam. I think that's your classic 6% owned guy who probably gets 250 and 2, and you're feeling good about it in the first half, and you're like, dude, I just got a Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown at 3%. And then you look up and Josh Allen, Kincaid teams are just like the top 50 teams on the leaderboard.
Is Thomas the guy you stack him with? Thomas Ingram?
Actually, Ingram is probably the best one on this slate. But Thomas, I like, obviously. Actually, Gabe Davis, I like probably more. But that's a fun game because you can do the A-chain bring back.
Okay. Any other quarterbacks that you like, Davis, week one besides Kyler? Because
we haven't even mentioned the guy who probably will be stacked the most of the whole slate, which is CJ Stroud with 2 of Diggs, Dell, Nico, and Dalton Schultz with AD Mitchell or Pittman as the bring back. I probably wouldn't bring Stroud back, actually.
He's just so expensive.
Let me see, 7,500. That doesn't feel that expensive. That feels like the right price for him.
When you look at him, and he's not going to run a lot. He's got to have all of his passing touchdowns, and you can get a guy much cheaper than that at 5,300. Will Levis.
Okay, all right.
Real talk. This is going to be just a 2-minute thing.
2 minutes?
2 minutes of our show?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, you were going to say 20.
It's almost as long as those ad reads.
This whole show is a Tennessee Titans propaganda ad read.
No, Peter.
So far, we've got Fade Caleb and Will Levis is the same play as CJ Stroud.
Hey, guys, this is a first look show, okay? And so I want to say it before everyone starts getting... Like, we have new offenses. Pete just mentioned Seattle. Why can't I mention Tennessee? We've heard all offseason how Tennessee is going to be more pass heavy.
You're not doing it because you don't even believe
it.
I
do.
Dave, you don't believe this.
Look at my best ball exposures and tell me I don't believe it.
Okay.
Look me in the eye and tell me I don't believe it when you see my best ball exposures. I 100% believe they're going to be a more offensive team they have in the past. So you got to factor that in.
You think Will Levis on the road in Chicago is a great spot to jam in DFS?
You
know,
sometimes you got to live a little. And
okay. All right, let's build a DraftKings lineup. Let's build a DraftKings lineup.
Let's do it.
And Dave, you are not picking first.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to pick Will Levis anyways. I'm just putting it out there that we need to recognize week one some of the differences as opposed to stop it. He's got Davis Maddock right above.
Should I recommend Will? Can we get a Will Levis tag, please?
Davis, do you have control? Do you go in the back end to assign yours, or do you tell someone and they put the little dot next to it?
I got full control. I could go in and say that Beimfor likes who's a funny. I could go in and as Beimfor, I could be like Beimfor likes Alvin Kamara this week.
It sounds like Better Collective should probably update their CMS
I don't
that's the case.
I don't actually think that's true, but
There is
a good
QA
bit to
process.
pretend.
No, that is 100% true.
All right.
You could do that.
Hey,
Can I
Pete?
just mention? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
go
mention
ahead.
that where I'm going to be placing this contest in the Game Day Greatness presented by DoorDash series on DraftKings.com. Super nice free roll here. First place gets $250 and 250 cash and $100 DoorDash gift card.
Oh,
see you guys
that's
at
big
top.
for football season.
Also, we are going to be entering this lineup. The RG family of podcasts are going to be having a competition. So their lineups will probably be more optimized towards the end of the week. We're not changing anything. We're going to be putting our first look lineup and shipping this thing. So we're competing against all the other shows in a free contest. All right. With that being said, Pete, as our guest of honor today, I would like for you to have the first pick.
Wow, I'm not a regular host. I'm a guest of honor.
You kind of had that late entrance today, so.
All right, well, let's just have some goddamn fun. Let's start this team off with a Geno Smith JSN stack.
Yeah, okay. I love it. Beautiful stuff. Dave, how do you feel about that?
I have a lot of Geno and a lot of JSN in my best ball teams.
Kitchen,
so
you can't the answer can't be how it reflects your bags. We're talking about the week 1 slate.
My bags, though, reflect my philosophy for the season. And I think you need to target. You need to target for week 1. You got to the same philosophy that made you target some of these guys early. Like, why are we drafting
drafts?
Why are we drafting? Pete, why are you putting JSN in this lineup? Tell me.
Because he's 4,900. I think he's the clear cut number 2 on this offense this week with Tyler Lockett injured. And I think he's one of the best value plays down in this 5K range that I'm taking a look at for the first time right now, Dave.
There you go. And I would agree with that.
And I didn't say anything about my best ball backs.
But you could just substitute the price tag and everything else and would it apply to best ball. And you know this. You know what I'm saying. Davis, you have pick 2.
Devin A-Chain.
Where do you get your ideas?
He's the single best play of the slate, I think. $6,800 Devin A-Chain.
He's also going to be the most owned running back of the slate.
You know, I don't think so. I think people are so slappy brained that I don't believe that he will be. I think Rashad White will be pretty popular.
Get out of here.
Kenneth Walker will be pretty popular. I would be surprised if he ended up being the most owned.
I would not be surprised at all. All right, Tuttle.
Giving a lot of thought to this, we're gonna go the Jacksonville, bring back angle. We'll go Gabe Davis, since Davis threw his name around earlier.
Running a more complete route tree.
Kitchen
4,500.
Yeah, I did mention what I'm putting this in, but just for the people who are new, can you let them know how they should think about this lineup? You know, is it cash? Is it GPP? Is it a cash GPP lineup? Like what should?
Yeah, you throw this in whatever you want. This cashes in your cash game. This cashes in your tournaments, min cash, max cash, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: when you're making the nuts, it doesn't matter what contest you put it in because it's gonna make money.
Yeah. Just win.
That is a really good point, Dan. And people sort of forget that.
All right. As Davis said about Kyler, I'm going to say about this player. He's a wide receiver. He's 5.9. He's going to get absolutely peppered with targets this week. He's not going to be in the 5K at it like the rest of the season. It's Malik Neighbors.
Good pick, Dave.
Thank you.
That is a good pick, Dave.
And that's why I select him in 20% of my best ball contest.
There's no way you have 20% Neighbors.
Yes.
Wow. You're better than I thought, Dave.
Take notes. All right, Pete, you're up.
All right. Let's see here. I was going to do Neighbors, and you beat me to the punch there. We got 5,600 remaining. There are some nice values at running back. Let's throw in Chuba Hubbard.
He's going to be the chalk.
This is an ass play.
There's so many better plays.
The Sims have already seen how contrarian this Geno stack is. and it says that we can eat some chalk. You guys need to get your little GPP brains out of here. This is max cash in your cash game lineups.
This is,
Max cash.
this is
I will also accept Singletary if you'd rather do Singletary.
I
I like Brian Robinson.
guess I like Hubbard was a more fun prospect, so I'll go. Oh, that's fine.
Since when do you guys poo-poo a starting running back who has been good at 5,300 when you guys have already spent a bunch of money? Come on.
Well, something about a running back for just a bad team doesn't really do it.
Here, I'll do a grosser. I'll do a grosser one to make Pete feel better. I'll take one Mr. Zachary Ertz at
Oh my
$3,600 on DraftKings.com. How many points is 8 receptions for 23 yards? Because that is how many points Zach Ertz is going to get.
So, I mean, that's why I said with Tuttle saying that Zach Ertz was like chalk 2 years ago, and I said he might be, or not chalk, but just a value play.
All right,
Okay.
we have underspent somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to interrupt you during your speech about how everyone spent
Saving
too much money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that I love.
and why we really need to play Hubbard.
Yeah, let's upgrade someone because we can upgrade and still play CD Lamb or whatever.
Let's upgrade to Trey McBride at tight end.
Okay. This is the Cliff Kingsbury after week 6 last year. He's like, you know what?
Let's
What if we
upgrade.
did go
Yeah.
Zach Ertz to Trey McBride.
All
All right, Dave. I know you've been deep in the weeds.
Yeah.
You've been reading all the scouting reports. We need you to bring us home with the defense. We really need your defense.
No. You're saying defense, so you can pick the flex.
I don't care. I don't care, but I'm really curious. Kind of the mind of a maestro. How are you going about picking week 1 defenses?
Yeah, no, I think like a solid defense are going to be Houston, someone like them against Anthony Richardson. If you have to force him to throw the ball, seems
Man,
like
I really want the Vikings defense.
Okay, well, let's take the
Houston-
Vikings then.
I don't know if it
Okay, we
works.
get. We can't do it
I was
against.
gonna say I don't know if it
Naples.
works salary wise.
Yeah. Well, let's take our flex and see if we take Tyreek. That gives us 2,300 left.
Cardinals. Probably more cromulent to do like a. What about if we take Waddle?
No, gross.
There's no 2,300 defenses.
I thought the
They don't
Cardinals
exist.
22.
Let's stack them with. Let's stack Neighbors with Jefferson, and then we have 2,600 left for a defense.
Perfect. Say
Yeah.
less, Dave.
So, Patriots, Colts, Commanders.
Little DST running back correlation with Chuba and that Panthers D. Swallowing up Derek Carr.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Classic.
Don't do
Boy.
me, bro. Do
This
not
is-
do me.
I hope
Min
Tim
cash,
Matthews
max
is
cash,
watching.
shipping, RG contest, whatever. All right.
Min cash,
reminder
max cash.
To like, subscribe, leave a comment after the video is done as well. And yeah, we appreciate that. Let's talk about running backs. Because again, a lot
This
of
is
these
where it
guys-
already starts to get hard.
right. A lot of these guys are just kind of just muddled, like right there in the middle, in that
Well,
55 to 65 range.
to actually give you credit, this is where the best ball brain starts to creep in, where I'm like, God, why would I want to play Jonathan Taylor? And then I look and I'm like, oh, Jonathan Taylor's actually projected for the most points of anyone, which is nuts. I wonder, Tuttle, give me your take on this. Do you think
Yeah,
that
I mean, when I was, go ahead.
I want to ask you about I want to ask you about Bijan.
There was a longer than usual pause where I
I wanna-
thought you were giving me a question, but then you paused long, and so I'm like, all right, I'll just go
I was
with it.
trying to formulate this question right. It's like a bad spot for Bijan in terms of like the matchup, the projected pace and total of the game and all that stuff. But if Bijan gets this CMC workload that he's supposed to, this should probably be the cheapest that he is. And A-Chain is better points per dollar. Cook's better points per dollar. Rachaad White's better points per dollar. I think on DraftKings, even Kamara's better points per dollar. What do you think about Bijan?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to buy if you think the workload's going to be there. We just created the lineup. We didn't have too much difficulty making a lineup, even though Pete thought we did in terms of spending money. So, I mean, there are places where you can spend money. I kind of think the top RB1 is the place to do it, whether that's Bijan. You mentioned Jonathan Taylor as well. I don't know. Like, I've been out of the game, but looking at these names of people who are going to be chalk and being played, like you guys had the Hubbard reaction. That didn't sound all that fun to me. Rachaad White was okay. Chase Brown, like these are the guys that are showing up most common in early builds, and none of them are exciting. So to me, that makes sense to me to use it as a spot to get a little bit different.
Well, to me, the selling point of like Hubbard is that I don't think it's that different of a play from the Rachaad White, Kamara. And so you're getting it much cheaper. But then when you actually get up to Taylor, Bijan, Achane, I think you're getting access to something that those other guys can't get to.
Kenneth Walker. Clay asked how chalky he's going to get. I just think it's going to be
pretty chalky.
Yeah.
But it's tough to have too much chalk with all these price ranges, like just evenly distributed. Like even thinking about, I think I would, if we're going on like coach speak, I think I would look at a guy like Brian Robinson at 5,200. If he's
what is the coach speak?
That he's really the RB1, that he's going to be catching passes as well.
Has a coach said that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually did see that Twitter clip. I saw that. I saw that on X.
Thank you. You know what, Tuttle, because you're serious about your job and you're not just streaming for the bros out there. So that's why this show needs that balance of guys like Tuttle and me putting in the work, and then the entertainers that are like subscribe.
When I think of hard work, I think of David Kitchen.
Streaming for the pros.
I will say this. I mean, this is a classic spot where one of the Bengals running backs I think is probably going to be a pretty strong play. You've already have the idiot slappies who were like, oh, Chase Brown's listed as a punt returner, which, like, I don't know, maybe it is true, but I will probably use a little bit of both. Comparing them each, I would assume Moss will be like 8% max. Chase Brown will be like a legit like 2% play, maybe not even that, as the largest favorite. We talked a little bit about Burrow earlier, but I don't know. If I make 10 lineups this week in stuff, I'll probably do 4 of them with a Bengals running back.
What's the James Cook role look like this year?
We just don't know.
We don't know.
I think that's week one. Click.
It's a tough.
Yeah. There's
that
a
makes
lot
it sound like a great click to me then with those reactions.
He probably will be really low owned. I do think the guys like Cook and Kenneth Walker, those are the exact guys you want to play when they're sub 5%, right? Because they're going to be way more boom bust. Like Kenneth Walker as chalk has never been fun. But if no one's playing him, clackety clack.
Well, especially if nobody's playing him because we don't know the role or there's uncertainty, which it kind of sounds like with James Cook. Is that similar to like the Titans backfield? Are we uncertain how that's is there any upside there or no?
Yeah, that is, I don't like Pollard to me is a stone jam. I've been drafting him in these BRs. I think, like, I had this long argument with Jacob Sanderson the other day. Like, I just think he's straight up better than Tajay Spears. And I think this would be a spot to do it where they're a road dog. Neither he nor Spears projects that well. But if Tony Pollard if he's just, 2022, 2021 Pollard again, that secret is going to be out like immediately. Like if he has like 6.2 yards per carry and scores twice here, that it's like your buying window on him is probably over. It's probably just done.
Okay, so they're that's kind of an exciting one. Let's go bottom of the barrel here. Chargers backfield.
That's a total stay away.
Nothing at all. Not even like if you guess right on this backfield split,
because
is there any upside?
I don't think you win a DFS relevant role. There's a difference between like, oh, like I'm super interested in that for seasonal fantasy. Like if J.K. Dobbins gets 11 rushes and 4 receptions, that he's probably 11.8 PPR points or something. But can Dobbins get me like 24? I don't know. I don't, if they're playing 3 guys and they're kind of like changing who gets the goal line work, I can't see it right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my third eye is not open enough.
It's also a tougher sell because I mean, Dobbins and Edwards have never caught a bunch of passes, right? Where it's like there's basically 0 PPR floor there. I actually prefer them in underdog battle royales where you're more kind of touchdown hunting, half point PPR.
Yeah. Here's a guy that I barely drafted in best balls who I might consider, and that's Alvin Kamara.
Even though you just said your week 1 plays are reflective of your best ball portfolio, which is reflective of your entire philosophy of the NFL.
Sometimes you have to take certain elements of the reason why you're drafting a guy, and that's to win. And so like I'm looking at the Titans and Seattle as like a overall picture, but sometimes you have to take like just the micro and just the week 1 stuff. And Kamara at 6,700, he might catch a lot of passes.
Yeah.
So that's a guy who's the opposite of what I just said. What about Broncos backfield? Broncos and Patriots, like these.
I mean, Javonte could definitely PPR scam it up. Like I've got some overs on him for the passing game stuff, or some hires rather. The concern you would have again would be let's say we live in a world where Javonte Williams literally catches 8 passes in this game. How many DraftKings points does that come with? Like, is it even 20 if he catches 8 passes?
Yeah.
Probably. I think Javonte, I mean, you talk about the mystery box of like the role. I mean, McLaughlin's going to be out there a bit, but Javonte could have 23 touches in this game and no one should blink, right? Like that's definitely possible.
All right, let's move on to wide receiver. Also, just a reminder, we got a pick 'em coming up. We have 17 minutes. We got a wide receiver, we got tight end, we got pick 'em coming up, we got Tuttle's terrible take, and then we got to sign off. So wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, smash. Anybody disagree with that?
Well, this is this is the sim era of DFS. Like DFS shows last year, 2 years ago would have been like, I like Tyreek Hill, but I'm really trying to get leverage on Jalen Waddle, who will be far less owned. And now everyone is just so locked into the sims that they're like, actually, Peter, do the voice. Peter, do the voice.
Well, actually, which one am I doing?
No.
Like the pretentious.
The port drinking best ball, bro.
Well, actually, if the Sims move us away from a Nash equilibrium, it could be advantageous to actually go back to hand building lineups.
Not quite. I was going for the Sims just want you to jam. The Sims just want you to jam the best plays.
Do the voice your goddamn self, then, Davis.
I can't do it. I'm not very good at it.
Dude, do that voice just so I can criticize it right away. That'd be fun. Actually, the Sims just want you to play the best plays even more.
It's that meme of that sister who is like telling her little sister to say something like word for word to ask for something, and after she asks for it, she says, "No, you may not." Just like you just can't. No, that's not quite it. All right, wide receiver after Reek. Who are some of the guys that we like? We've talked about Malik Neighbors. If Chase doesn't play, is Higgins
Chase is playing? Stop this. Like, of course he's playing, bro. He's gonna give up a game check.
I don't know.
Is this? I'm not as familiar with the Chase inside info. Is this like the Mike Evans playing through a doubtful tag like 4 years ago, week 1?
4 years ago, Dan. You think that
Davis
was 4 years ago?
How long ago?
Buddy, you think that was 4
years.
years ago? That
Like
shows
6
how
or
old
7
you are.
I have no grasp of time, but I mean that part's true.
No, Chase would. I mean, he would be giving up millions of dollars to not be playing it, or like $765,000, like a game check to not be playing in this game.
Is that anything to him though?
Someone said week 1 there is a slight chance of him missing. Week 2, no chance of him missing. I forget who said that. It might have been you, Davis. But like against the Chiefs, he's not missing, but he might.
I will.
It's pretty late in the game.
I think there are a couple guys who are not going to be like stone chalk that I'm fairly interested in. The first one is Waddle. I mean, just that's total tout, say the line Bart type shit. But Waddle at 6,300 against Jacksonville. I think my flag plant will just be that Nico is at $7,000. He's not like a great points per dollar play, but he's the Texan that I'll be doing as a one-off. Like if I do Chase and Higgins, I'll use Collins as my Texan.
Give me Tank. But I mean, that is.
I'm being corrected by the chat. His game check is only $250,000. So if he doesn't suit up against the Patriots, he's only giving up $250,000.
Only.
That's nothing. That's nothing to Jamar Chase.
Yeah. So
is it a T Higgins week regardless?
It's never a T Higgins week. Total.
There's just so many good options. Let's talk about some of the stuff we've talked about all summer.
Higgins was dismissed real quickly. Writing his
Davis
name
is
down.
doing the kitchen thing where he's letting his best ball bag start to inbound.
No,
No.
I'm doing the ADP chasing thing, which is that we hate T Higgins.
All right. So Terry McLaurin, what have we said? Like he's just going to get absolutely peppered with targets, right? Malik Neighbors, peppered with targets. Drake London, if he hits, it could be like a top 5 wide receiver option for him. Like these are the guys we've talked about, and they're not that expensive. Like you can jam a bunch of these guys in and just have this balanced lineup. But then these offenses that have a lot of pass catchers, you have to choose. Houston, Chicago, even would put Buffalo up there as far as like who you're choosing from Buffalo to be the guy.
Shakir's probably a good play this week, which like really pains me to say because I don't think he's very good.
Yeah. So
I am glad you mentioned London because you look at the double stack of Kirk, London, and it's really affordable. It's really affordable.
What you need to make that work,
dude. I might just have to fucking lock it for week 1. Who cares? You lock that stack, and if it hits, it's so fun.
And you know they are going to be jazzed up to play against Arthur Smith. You know those guys.
Yeah.
You know seeing that guy's face is just going to trigger them so hard.
And bring it back with either Pickens or Najee.
Is there a reason why you left Atlanta's top pass catcher out of that stack?
Oh no,
Ray McLeod.
Casey Washington joke? Is this
This is a Darnell Mooney show, man.
Oh my!
Oh,
he's the terrible take of the week. He said,
that's the terrible take.
Darnell Mooney's the terrible take.
That's a great terrible take because I'm so triggered by hearing it.
To the Mooney, Tuttle.
Yeah,
brother.
Rocket
you
ship
missed
emoji.
some shows this summer.
Tuttle, how bad do you feel that the response to your Tuttle's terrible take was Dave being like, "My bags are packed, dude. My bags are packed."
This shows my level of knowledge coming into the NFL season.
No,
it's
you
very,
don't understand.
very base level. It appeals.
You don't
to
understand
the
how much Davis and Pete were like, you can't play the wide receiver 2 for a Kirk Cousins offense. Like, you don't understand.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When you like, this is the chance, right? To be right on Mooney all along. Maybe Chicago was just that bad.
Well,
Yes,
isn't it the time to be right about Kyle Pitts all along? Because let me tell you, if Kyle Pitts goes 6 for 82 and 1, you're not finding less than 10% ownership on Kyle Pitts on a main slate for the rest of the year. The slappies will be incandescent.
Okay. Gosh, there are just so many options. Throw up some other wide receivers that you like week 1, and then we have to move on.
How about Amari revenge game? I thought whatever podcast you listened to before this would have been all over the Amari revenge game. I like a little.
Davis, I'm not listening to any podcast before this, buddy. This is the first look show.
This is the first look.
There are no other first look podcasts before this podcast.
None.
Amari CD little mini correlation. Put that in Sim Labs and see what it throws out for you.
Okay. I was gonna say a good mayoral bet would be Davis, Caleb Williams versus Dave's Deshaun Watson, week 1 DK points.
I would love to. Yeah,
Because
Dave.
Dave already poo-pooed the Caleb Williams, and you're getting $100 salary on the deal there, Kitchen.
Let me see what the models say on RotoGrinders. So I can
My
see.
philosophy for the whole season is now shifting now that I've been put under the
I think
limelight of this bet.
the chat is kind of getting at one of the things that I think is going to be very relevant this week, which is just non-Yoshi Voss lineups. What are you doing for the third cheap wide receiver? Brian Thomas Jr., Rome Odunze. There are a bunch of guys who are like Wandale Robinson, obligatory. What does Dortch cost? What does my guy Dortch cost? If Dortch is like 3,700.
Dortch is 3,900.
Oh my God. All right. Well, there you go. Plant the flag. I mean, that's like legitimately just a good play on DraftKings. You want to Greg Dortch in week 1 2 years ago had 17 points on 8 receptions.
If you're gonna do the rookie punt plays, Jalen Polk at 3,900.
Yeah, completely
not bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Davis, go ahead and get the
What's up?
Underdog screen up.
It's ready to go. I'm shared, brother.
What do you guys think about? Well, I'm not even going to say it. Let's just move on.
Are we going to use our no sweat token on this one?
I already used it. Sorry.
Davis already used it.
We got to get those close. And this is, again, a present for those who watched the show, listened to the show earlier.
All right. Dan,
we're talking about closing line value.
You fire first pick. Who would you like?
I have 0 takes, so we're gonna go.
That's why it's good.
We're gonna go with whatever is written up on.
Yep.
No,
go with Mooney. Go with Mooney more than 2.5.
Yes, this is about the brand. These are brand picks here.
Go with Mooney more than 2.5.
I get to pick twice, anyways, right?
Correct. We're doing 8.
What's the Josh Jacobs rushing?
No, let's only do Sunday so that the late people coming in can also hit this. No Thursday or Friday. I do have that one over 2.5 receptions for Jacobs.
What's
So we're doing 8. We're doing 8 legs.
No, I think we should do 4.
No,
who says 4?
Legs,
Who says 4 legs?
David, stop! We're trying to have fun, dude. Come on.
But it's going to be so long.
We're trying to grind
though.
out 37 cents of these.
Do Darnell. Do Darnell.
Okay, 2.5. There you go. All right.
Mooney.
Yes.
Over
receiving
33.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
We don't care about lines in this. We just fire no matter what.
We're just firing.
Peter?
I think we should at least get to 5. I think we should middle it. The 4 payouts are generally not as good as the 5.
Correct.
What about if we take the 5th from the chat?
Sure. Deal.
Sure.
Sold.
I'll stick with my on brand one from earlier. I'll do a JSN higher than 44.5 receiving yards.
I'll see if I can I stick to free.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that under Better Collective's responsible gaming.
What did you do, Davis, for the audio listeners?
He's saying that as a joke, but he's actually
Greg Dortch higher 2.5 receptions.
Davis getting a nice little 0.83x multiplier on this one for us.
Well, if you do your 10% profit boost or 10%, you're right back. You're right back in it.
Make sure you say higher too.
Higher, yes.
Stick to the higher, lower verbs because it's not gambling as long as you do that.
Correct.
Kitchen.
David.
Will Levis over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Oh my God.
That's a spicy.
No, Dave, please rephrase. That's higher.
Higher, yes.
Higher than 1.5.
Well, yeah,
can I do higher 0.5 interceptions?
No, Davis. You could do that on your own by yourself.
Okay.
Or on one of your streams.
That's a spicy one.
Chat needs to give us a 5th pick.
Honestly, if this thing is hitting, we should probably do a Titans pass catcher because otherwise Dave is sinking this already.
All right, so let's go Ridley higher 56.5 receiving yards.
Or we could have done the Ridley.
That gets us up to almost a 20x there.
There you go.
Whoa.
30. Darnell Mooney higher 33.5 receiving yards. JSN higher 44.5 receiving yards. Greg Dortch higher 2.5 receptions. Will Levis higher 1.5 passing yards. Calvin Ridley higher 56.5. I mean, classic to do 5 hires. Yeah, the nerds hate that. If you're not signed up for Underdog yet, make sure that you use promo code Davis. You get
No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Holy
You just-
cow. This guy's trying
Guess-
to double dip.
Guess who else just forfeited their week 1 check? All right. Just to let people know, we do have the props and pick 'em package available on RotoGrinders. We'll give it away. That Mooney pick was the top overall pick for Prize Picks. So good job by you, Tuttle. And a 12.85% edge on Geno Smith pass completions on Underdog. So go to RotoGrinders and sign up there. All right. Quickly, tight ends. Boy, there's just.
I think
Already
we
a
could
bad
see
tight end slate.
we could see some crazy ownership on if any
Ingram.
value tight. Well, if
No, I think
any
Ingram's going to be the
projection-
chunk.
if any projection site decides to go hard on one tight end, like just moves, or if we get like if Adam Schefter tweets on Sunday morning, Zach Ertz is the elder statesman and they plan to use him just like whatever it is. If
Kyle
there's a
Pitts.
report. I don't know if Kyle Pitts can week 1 be chalk, but it's more a value guy. It would be more like think Kylan
Johnson.
Granson, Jatavian Sanders, Theo Johnson,
Taysom
someone
Hill.
like that. Taysom, I don't believe is listed at tight end on DraftKings
He
in
is.
DFS.
Yeah, it's 43.
He is.
You gotta know your
Oh,
ball.
Davis, this is where the first look comes in.
Oh, God.
Your first
Uh-oh.
look. Look
The
at
first
that.
look.
All right, well,
He's doing it.
I know who I'm playing at tight end, brother.
There you go.
Honestly, Taysom, is there not going to be steam on Taysom? He is the best tight end pick, right? At 4,300?
Would you
He
pay
is.
I'd pay 43 for him at running
Yeah.
back. Why wouldn't I do it at tight end?
Okay, let me throw in some of my my bag picks from DK. These are round 19, round 20 guys that I think could possibly hit. 2 guys, Dulcich, Hayden Hurst. 2 of those guys, no one's going to own them. They're both like 3 in that 3K range. And if they do
All right,
become that
actually, I'm going to hand
pass
it to
catcher.
you. Dulcich week 1 DraftKings is not a bad pick, honestly.
Also, how about this? If we're down here dumpster diving,
Yeah.
let's say
Tommy
Jamar Chase
Tremble?
is a little rusty. Let's say Yoshi Voss is mega chalk. Let's say T. Higgins gets pretty popular at 6,100. Little Mike
Gesicki?
at the
They're-
Stone
they're-
Inn.
Peter, you ready for a real throwback that I'm about to give you? John Moore. Do you remember John Moore, our old friend
Yeah,
from
of course.
RotoViz?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was at Bengals camp just as like a fan hanging out this year. And he DM'd me specifically to be like, they don't seem to care much about Yoshi Voss or Burton at all. It's just like all Gesicki running routes out of the slot. So that's all I got to add there.
Insider take right here.
Boom.
Wow.
Mark it
I
down.
do.
Love
I
it.
do like. I like Gesicki.
All right. This was a solid show. I feel like this is what happens in week 1, right? You start off a little rusty. You get a couple delay of game penalties. And then you
Delay of
start
ad read penalties, more like
well,
it.
delay of it on the show penalties. And then you just get into your groove, right? And I feel like these past 5 minutes, that was our 2-minute offense. So good job by you guys. Tuttle with an amazing, terrible take of the week. Tuttle, anything else to plug?
Yeah, check out our college football product on
Bang.
RotoGrinders.
How did
Ad
week 1 go?
Ad read number 7. Week 1 was went well. Hopefully
And-
week 2 is a lot easier because week
And
1 was 4
Tuttle
games
crushing
and
the prop
projecting Linden to win.
picks.
Tuttle
those-
projected this guy who's 1.8% owned as one of the best points per dollar guys, and he's Pena.
Oh yeah, Trevor Pena.
Smashed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
That was a
also
camp
4-0 on his first set of picks. So again, just
Ad read number 8.
props and pick 'em. And then Davis, would you like to plug anything without your promo code?
Yeah, check out youtube.com/Davis_Matic for Battle Royale content. Maybe not a first look DFS show, a little bit more DFS content, and RotoGrinders.com if you sign up for the premium package.
No,
through my
you
link.
can't.
You get 40.
You
You get
can't.
$40
You
off.
can't. You can't say that on the show. You
Are
can't.
you serious?
Yes, you can't. Are you kidding me? All right. Just be expecting an email from Dan Bach. Peter.
Davis should be fined for some of his blatant promo code whoring on this show. This is what if you win a DoorDash gift card because of advice you heard on the Swolecast this week, 5% of your order has to be rerouted to Dave.
Well, 5% of the order
He gets the fries. He gets Dairy Queen. Get him a Blizzard from Dairy Queen.
5% post gross tax, right?
Yeah, Kitchen, you should get a DoorDash PO box where people can DoorDash food to your PO box, and then you just drive it to town and pick it up, so you don't have to dox yourself.
Hey, or just send me gift card links. So appreciate everyone on the show. Please leave comments. It will help with the algorithm, and just vault us up to the top where Smiz used to be. We're coming for that top DraftKings search term on Tuesdays on YouTube. So appreciate you guys. Week 1's where you get to live a little. You get to play out your thesis in real time and cash, min cash, max cash, whatever it is. And just remember,
top 2 win it.
The favorites pod is totally free to play. $100,000, $40,000 top prize. That will do it for the Swolecast. Shout out Sosa for producing the show. We'll see you next Tuesday, noon or noon 05 if you're some people, here on the Swolecast on RotoGrinders.com. Peace.